Happy Monday. How you doing? Or should I say Happy Labor Day? Technically, today's Labor Day. However, fair to say a lot of people like Buzz had it on the Sunday due to some people don't get today off with pay. Auntie Billy's has a shift at the hospital. So we do it on a Sunday. And the weather was great. Today, using air conditioning again, good old New England, you know. I talked about the other morning, we got up here, it was 47 degrees. Got up this morning, it was 67 degrees. And it's quite warm and very humid today. The air conditioners will be on again, that we haven't had to use for over a week. Good old New England, man. If you don't like the weather, just wait a minute. So what's new? I heard a few things. Anybody catch Sanford's yak session last night? He just pretty much sits there bullshitting, babbling, mindless babble with his wife for 2 hours. You know, people look forward to that. I guess. Hey, when you make a donation, you know, make sure you do it in super chat so he gets all of it. If you don't do it in super chat, YouTube will take their cut. You know what I mean? And I hear a lot of people don't give him much money. But hey, whatever. You know, maybe it depends on a week he's not selling too many hats and t-shirts. Now he's going to try to bump up his, you know, donations on live chats. But he did another one recently. He's got his newest best buddy in the world. Correct me if I'm wrong. I heard somebody say that. Dr. Art, that guy is into, he's got an electric car. He's got electric go-karts. What, is he going to take on Sanford for a $5,000 race too? You know, scam it like he did with, you know, the guy with his Casper, not so friendly ghost. Oh, I lost. Here you go. Okay, the camera's off. Give me my money back. You really think $5,000 actually changed hands and stayed with the hand it went into? You believe that? I'm the fucking Easter Bunny, okay? That was staged bullshit drama to get attention, to get fucking views and clicks, to make money. That's all that was about. They were all about that. Like the fucking Crypt Keeper, you know. He's going to save those children at St. Jude's with that 318. He hasn't touched the fucking thing. It's coming up on close to a year now, right? November will be a year. Sanford started that scam. He was going to build it and never touched the fucking. He just dumped off a junk 318 and walked away. Those heads got dumped off on some guy in fucking Florida. They got to his wits' end, couldn't do any more with them. Hey, this is as good as they're going to get, and they're still fucking sitting there. There's no block prepared. You know, Crypt Keeper, I'm going to stroke the crank. You know, I'm going to bore it and hone it. The only thing he did was yak about how, you know, he's going to take another one too. He's going to make all his horsepower basically by taking weight off of shit. You know, take weight off the crank, take weight off the rods, take weight off the valves. Has he done that in almost a year? Hasn't done a fucking thing to it. Still begging and pleading for subs and views. You know, he's having yard sales now. I hear trying to sell off fucking pots he's got laying around. They're having a fucking yard sale. He's so fucking white, man. If he's making some money, maybe he should invest in buying a personality. Hi, I am David Vizard. Well, big subscribe on the hunt. Subscribe. Hi, I am David Vizard. If you can give me 20 minutes of your time, I will share with you my over 60 years of award-winning engine building experience. And I can tell you about my friend who has over 40 years of Hemi building experience. Uncle Sanford. That guy's so fucking... Should invest in buying a personality. Maybe get a makeup artist. Make him look like he's fucking human. He's so fucking pasty white, his face is blending in with the fucking white wall behind him. You gotta like, where is he? You see a shirt, no fucking head. Where is he? They're all a fucking joke. All a fucking joke. Hasn't fucking touched it. And always new best buddy, that Dr. Art. Well, that reminds me of Sanford. Every time Sanford brings in a new best buddy, they were around for a little while, and then suddenly you don't see or hear from them anymore. Reminds me of that scene in Titanic. When the old Rose gets off the helicopter, she's on the ship, and that guy's showing her the drawing they found, and she's looking at it, remembering when you see her with the heart of the ocean on her neck. And he looks at her, he says, the Titanic went down on, was April 14th. You were the last person to have been with it, to have seen it. That makes you my new best friend. Why? Wanted to use her to find that fucking diamond and make money, you know what I mean? That's what CF reminds me of, that fucking scene. You are my new best friend, because there's something in it for him, you know? Whatever happened to Dallas? They still buddies? And that's why I call it the No-Show Nationals. Dallas and Big Wilbur went balls to the wall, promoting him, hyping him. He was going to be the crown jewel center attraction of this big fucking event, you know, that you needed to get 500 subs. Even that was a fucking scam, just to get people's channels pumped up to 500 so you get monetized, make fucking money. Come on. Come on. I was born that night, but not last night. The whole purpose of that was... Damn. That drag did not go down right. I better put this out. I almost choked on my own spit. That would not be good. The whole thing was yeah, I know there was some nice cars there, but for the most part, it was junk. People racing, you know, minivans. I guess the groceries was still in the fucking back. Maybe a kid still strapped in a fucking car seat, you know. A few soccer balls. Stock trucks, junk. There were a few nice cars, but for the most part, you know, we're not a whole lot of hot rods there. But I wonder how, you know, Buddy Dallas, you don't see or hear from him no more. They're still buddies. After Sanford pulled a no-show and kind of like, oh shit. He was doing tech talks with him for a while. Big AHRA poster behind him sitting there with a fucking trophy. I don't know. I know Sanford didn't win it. He was a non-competitive nobody at a fucking track. He didn't race anything really. Except that one altered fuel car that was a throwaway junk car that, you know. Other than that, you know, he showed up at tracks mostly, from what I understand too, during his magazine days. You know, I tested it. From what I hear, he was basically there taking fucking pictures. So on other people's cars, so he could write a fucking article about it in a magazine. Even then he bounced around. He never had steady employment throughout his fucking life in any area. Failed businesses, multiple failed businesses. Hey, you want financial advice? Don't talk to Sanford. You want business advice? Don't talk to Sanford. As you should know by now. You want good car advice? Don't talk to Sanford. You know, he's never proven any of his proof of concept of his theories, you know. I'll never forget. You know, battery's dead. Hey, you know, people don't have money to buy a battery. He likes to put out like fucking like gloom and doom, like, you know, gloom and, but that's an old fucking tactic. This goes back to the shock jock days of Howard Stern, Mankind. You know, put a scare into people, put a worry into people, like, you know, they're out to get you. He's a big conspiracy theorist. He thinks, you know, government's out to get him and this and that. You know, that's why he had to hightail it out of New York. Too many commies there. No, he had too much law enforcement and too much shit he had got into, and he got to fucking hightail it out of New York in a fucking heartbeat, or else bad shit was going to happen to him, you know. I wonder if it's even safe for him to go back there without getting fucking arrested for outstanding warrants he has on him. Yeah. I know a lot of shit I don't talk about from people right from New York that knew him. How they found me, I have no fucking idea. But they said, man, I know that guy. I know him. He was a hang-arounder. He wasn't very well liked. He was obnoxious, sticking his nose in other people's pits. Oh, you should do this. Get the fuck out of here. What are you racing here? You don't even have a fucking car here. You tell me what... Begging and pleading to be a tuner on cars. Hey, let me work on your car. Let me work on your car. Believe me. One of these days, you know, you see I'm usually pretty lighthearted about it. One of these days, if I should be in a bad mood, maybe I will tell you some shit. You know what I mean? Depends if I'm provoked. Like they say, don't poke the bear. You poke Uncle Brian, you're going to hear some shit you're not going to like. It'll be the fucking truth. Be very careful how you tread on me. Because I'll walk all over you. Just fucking nobody. It was all AHRA. I could tell you a story about that Nitrous Express, too. If I can think of it. I got a lot to say here. If I run along, listen, if you don't like long videos, shut it off. Don't worry, you already watched more than 30 seconds. But I'm still not going to get paid, and I don't want to get paid. You know, he was all in there, the trophy there, AHRA. From what AHRA is a fucking joke. AHRA is pretty much non-existent. It's a name only, and it's just a way for this Dallas guy to make money. People paying their dues and whatever it is that's involved with being an AHRA member. You know, maybe buying a hat, t-shirt, bumper sticker. No, the AHRA had its heyday. Had its heyday back in the 70s. It was never as big as the NHRA. I don't even think it was as big as the IHRA. It was like, you know, the bottom tier of organized sanctioned racing. 80s and went fucking bankrupt. You know, shut down and went bankrupt. Got bought. Got rejuvenated. It struggled. Couldn't keep its head above water. Went bankrupt again. I forget what year, but it was bought again by somebody. Then it was owned but dormant. No events, no track, no nothing. No nothing was going on with it. You know, and then when I understand this Dallas is the president or the owner of it, whatever. What's he offering up to people? What does the AHRA have to offer? I don't know much about it, but someone that does, my friend Phil, Pop's son here, Serial, he knows quite a bit about it. He said, Brian, there's only like 3 tracks that they're sanctioning or involved with hosting events, and one of them's in Hawaii. One of them's in Hawaii. It's really nothing. It's just nothing. They're not hosting, offering, promoting it. They're not doing anything. It's just a name. And members are paying their dues. I don't know how that works. I was never a due member in anything, you know what I mean? I had to pay dues to be a part of something. Monthly, whatever, annual, whatever. So I'm an idiot when it comes to that. I'm only going by what I've heard by people that do have knowledge in it that I do not have. You know, he was buddy with him and even had a trophy on the desk. I think Sanford was kind of like hoping maybe my pickle sniffers will think that I won that trophy, you know. No, he never won a trophy. Notice he never talks about event wins with his nitro car. Never talks about round wins. Never talks about events he entered, competed in. Nothing. And with that one fuel car, he says he was a tuner and crew chief on, and even that story changed. The guy was killed, but then, oh no, the guy wasn't killed. He just got all fucked up. It was a fuel car called the Twilight Zone. A regional car, you know. We all have our, there are guys up here in New England Drag, we have them for years. They're very well known here on the East Coast. Nobody ever heard of them on the West Coast. They never ventured out that far to compete in any events further than Ohio West, you know what I mean? Regional cars. Competitive, successful in their area, but not big name cars, you know. Say John Force, Dale Armstrong, Bobby Tasker, you know. Even going back to the old days, you know. Say the Blue Max, you know what they're talking about. You talk about brute force, you know what you're talking about. You say the Hawaiian, they know what you're talking about. You know, you say the Budweiser King, they know what you're talking about. That Twilight Zone was a car that, I guess it was known in the Jersey area around there, in the East Coast here. You know. And you say, oh, that's why he got out of it, because the guy was killed in a crash and he couldn't even look at a fuel car. And they always fucking stories. Not at Dallas, right? You didn't even hear him mention his fucking name anymore. Then again, a lot of people don't even want to see his face either, you know? And now he's got his newest best buddy in the world. He's looking at this fucking Dr. Art. As if he's wearing the heart of the ocean around his fucking neck, and he's his newest best buddy. I mean, Dr. Art, is this guy a real doctor? You know, people on here got names, you know? Hey, I've always been me. You know what I mean? Brian Cabral, whether you like it or not. Also known as Uncle Brian. Dr. Art, this guy's a real doctor. I hope he's a fucking psychiatrist, because Sanford could sure use the fucking help. Maybe he'll get some bonus help from his newest best buddy in the world. That he's looking at the way that fucking dude on Titanic was looking at Rose as his new best friend in the world. Yeah, there's much more I could go on. Oh, I heard about my ex-boyfriend, Cabbage Patch Kid. He was there in his Hawaiian Magnum PI shirt. He's talking about lawnmowers now, riding lawnmowers. You can do wheelies on riding lawn, and it's a death trap. It's so fast and there's so many wheelies. It's dangerous. It can kill you. Once again, pure entertainment value. That's what it comes down to. Pure entertainment. Hoping to get clicks. Why? Hoping to make money. You know what I'm saying? Seriously, the shit on here. I've said it before, and I'll close by saying this again. There was no way for anybody to make a single fucking penny on YouTube. regardless of how many subs you had, regardless of how many views you got. There was no money involved. You were not allowed to run your flea market yard sale on here, selling hats, t-shirts, bumper stickers, and whatever with your name on it. There was no opportunity to make any money in any way on here. How many channels do you think would be here? Enjoy your day.